Hey everybody, this is me Edward Jones back with a new video. Bicycle, bicycle. I just wanted to do that. One of my favorite songs by Queen is Bicycle. Um, it's a pretty funny song. And it's a thought I've been having for some time. I'm also just another request from 803 Salad Shooter. He asked me a while back, about doing a video on bicycles. And actually I did do a video, which I'll include the link to a video I did last year, a bike trip I did, going from one county to the other, and just it shows off my bike. It's a Trek 3700 it's a 2013 model. Um, and I got it in 2012, so they call it that year model, but they sell it that year. And actually in November I'll have the bike for 2 years. Same drivetrain. I changed the tires. I got some I got some tires that someone was throwing out. They're in pretty good shape. They're thick. They're they're made for they're mountain bike tires. Not really suited for the type of environment I live in. But I'm not really into thin tires like a hybrid style or road bike tires. I remember the first time I bought a bike. The first bike I bought from the shop I work at, Outspoken. I went there. I went in there and asked the manager, "What's the closest thing you have to a pickup truck?" And she showed me a Trek 820. I paid, if I remember correctly, 345 back in 2012. And and now I have now I have the 3700. But I incorporated bike riding into my daily routine. I've been riding a bike around where I live since 2011, and didn't really get into it until 2012 when I started, getting I got my own bike. I got a bike that was made for my size. I had to get a bike with a bigger frame, something was a bit more comfortable to ride. And so in that, I've had fun. I've gone on rides with friends, um, 14-mile rides, 12-mile rides. And that's after work. um, I learned how to maintain my own bike, learn how to change some parts out, learn how to fix some things up, and I've gotten good exercise from it. That's one of the big things one of the big reasons why I decided to start riding a bike. Now my truck works. I'm still working on my truck as well. Actually, just drove back from Manning, um, but when I got back home this morning, I hopped, parked the truck and hopped on my bike and went to work. So, the bike has been, a part of my day-to-day routine for the most part. Um, I even learned a while back, how to ride my bike in the rain, in really heavy rain where you're just drenched. And it's not fun, but I learned how to do it. I just want to bring this topic up because I was wondering how many people out there who uh, self-described preppers or homesteaders, survivalists, do-it-yourselfers. How many of you out there have bikes? How many of you actually, learn how to take care of your bicycles, learn how to customize them? I've done a few things to my bike. Just some small lights. One in the front, one in the back. The standard bike rack for the back. Someday I will actually hope to follow up on something that Bobby Hill brought up to his on the King of the Hill, putting a gun rack on a bike, and I hope to do a video about that soon. I just haven't gotten into buying the parts yet, but I've seen plans out there as to how to do it. But yeah, how many of you have incorporated bicycles or bike riding into your preparedness strategy, or even just in your day to day life? Do you ride a bike to work, or ride a bike with friends, ride a bike by yourself? Um, how many of you out there, are into that are into those type of tools? Because a bicycle is a tool. It's a tool of transportation. I thought about all the usefulness of having a bicycle. I do have my truck is 4-wheel drive and it's diesel, so I guess push came to shove, I could crack use motor oil or even plastic into fuel to run my truck. But that's I gotta say that's more of an extreme case, especially where I live. But if fuel ever became a concern, I do have my bike, so I don't really look at my bike as an alternative form of transportation. I just look at another part of my routine. I can ride my bike, around the city and pick things up. I've hauled quite a bit of things on my bike. I've even hauled rifles and shotguns on my bike once. Um, when I used to do repairs for a friend of mine. I've hauled food. I've hauled appliances. You won't be amazed at the things you can haul on a bicycle when you have a bungee cord. And yeah, I was wondering, do how many out there have bikes? Um, there's a few tips. I do work in a bicycle shop. I help fix and I build bicycles, and outspoken bicycles. And one of the things a few things I can recommend is best. I mean, before things go south, if you decide to buy a bike, I recommend going to a shop that sells them, a bike specific shop, rather than going to like a big box retailer. That is, if you can fork the money over to, like I said, my first bike I ever bought, I paid 345. But that's because I wanted a bike that fits me, that fits me specifically. And it may be best if you can fork the cash over. Go with a bike from a bike shop. You'll get better quality. Um, and if you ever have to replace things, it's far more easier to replace parts on a bike that you bought from a shop, rather than going to a big chain store and getting a bike from there. It'd be much more difficult to buy parts, and especially if you have to deal with repairs. Let's see, kickstands. I recommend, because we don't like, not just we don't like, just not just because we don't like putting them on at the shop, but kickstands. If you have a mountain bike, I recommend not putting a kickstand on it, because if you use a mountain bike for, what it really is intended for, is for rough terrain, the risk of the kickstand actually coming down and your crank hitting it could cause an accident. So I don't have a kickstand on my bike. If I have to lean up, when I get off my bike, I just lean up against anything sturdy that's around. Uh, Another thing, the best locks I can recommend are U locks. I've had one bike stolen from me just when I had a cable lock. Another friend of mine had a bike that was stolen, had a cable lock. So if you get the trend, cable locks are much easier to cut off than a U lock. Now you could cut a U lock off, but you'll need a demolition saw to get one off. And you'll make a lot of racket trying to cut through that. I guess maybe if you're dedicated, you can find some other means of breaking the U lock. But they're uh they're damn they're very damn tough. They're damn tough to destroy. Um, that's another tip. Keep your tire pressure within the recommended range. It's very important. You'll actually notice a big performance difference from keeping your tires properly inflated. Same thing with a car. Um, if you have any questions as to how to perform certain functions, there's plenty of info online. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and send me a PM or ask in the comment section. But I do encourage people. I do encourage a lot of preppers and do-it-yourselfers. If you can get a bike and learn how to ride one. If you don't have one right now, or if you have one that's collecting dust, knock the dust off of it and put it back into good use. Riding a bike is a good form of exercise, um, and it's also a great piece of equipment just to have fun with. I've actually seen bikes that were, and people put a lot of money into bicycles. I've seen some that were it was one bike I remember, it was 12 pounds, and I think it was around $18,000. So some people they really put a lot of time, energy, and money into bicycles. But you don't have to go that far. If you maybe just a weekend rider, or maybe just have one part of your day-to-day routine. You don't have to put that much money into a bike. But there's some pretty cool upgrades out there. But that's my video. Please tell me what you think about bicycles and SSTF. Do you see them having a viable use, maybe for carrying goods? If you can't carry something on your back, if you're on foot, or maybe even for just doing searches around the area, do you see how useful a bicycle could be in that situation, please like to hear your thoughts, and read your comments. Hopefully, I can respond to most, all of them rather. If you're new to my channel, please, I hope you enjoy some of my old videos and look forward to new videos to come. Any gripes, complaints, please send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to improve the quality of my videos. If they're, maybe hopefully respectable suggestions. But please be respectful to everyone else who watches the video. But that's my video. Bicycle, 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 bicycle. All right, enough of that. I'm Edward Jones. Thanks for watching.